there, it's Julia. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to create awesome hands-on unicorn theme activities for your preschool aged kiddos. I'll be sharing tips for setting up the activities that are super easy, but they'll keep your preschool aged children engaged and coming back for more learning. We'll cover everything from math and counting to beginning sounds. For the best preschool activities, be sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified whenever I post a new video, just like this one.
There's a lot of really fun hands-on activities in this set, and I can't wait to share them with you. So this top shelf here, we have the beads using the pincer grasp and then put them in the correct matching colored bag. I have a few animal figurines. I actually took these from our Europe theme and I just put them on the shelf for decoration. We have blue blue stones, and the child just has to pour the stones into each cup. The goal is to pour the same amount into each cup and prevent spilling. This is a material with that the child has to sort the correct matching item onto each of the mats. We have rainbows, unicorns, and then another one of donuts. I keep all the materials that need to be sorted in this little bag. Then the child has to open the bag up. Let's do this. Then the child can select their items and then sort the right one onto the correct mat. It's a great work for pre-reading and pre-math. Down here we have a shape matching work. Now this is a really fun material because it comes with two wheels that look like this. And then what I have here is clothespins with the matching shape. So they're not identical. The child really has to concentrate to see if they're the same shape or not. But the trick here, because I don't really want to buy clothespins for every single unit that we do like this, I added Velcro dots on the back of the clothespins, so if I choose to swap out the shapes for something else, I just have to take off the shape, the cute little unicorn, and then swap it out for a different theme, and I don't have to reuse clothespins every time. So it's a little bit of a money saving and time saving trick too. So there you go, that's our unicorn shape matching work. And the important thing to note with something like this, if you have a younger child who's not used to having such a big work like this, you don't need to present every single shape. You can just use one wheel and make sure that you only present the unicorn equivalent of that wheel. My daughter's been using this work a few times, so she can handle at 3 years old having both and all of these materials, but that's not necessary to do the first time. This is a sensory bin. I have a mat. I have a mat for size discrimination, and then here I have different images, different sized rainbows, and the child has to match them up into the correct spot. I put it into a bin of pink rice. I colored the rice by putting it into just a Ziploc bag with some pink paint and adding a tiny squirt of water, and then just mixing, and then letting everything dry on a paper towel overnight, or you can put it on a tray or a bowl. And it dried pretty quickly. So I'll just hide these cards in here, and then the child has to dig and find the cards and then put them into the right spot. Now here are a few more activities that I have removed from the shelves, or in that folder I have more activities that need to be added. Right now I have here our little and then this work comes with these donuts and these number cards. The idea here is that the child should select one of the number cards. Select one. We have 9. That's 9. And then they would give the unicorn 9 donuts to eat. Let's pretend that I've selected 9, and then they can count it out. So 1, oops, 2, 2, and then they keep going until they reach that number, and then they keep going with the cards. It's a very cute activity. And to present it, all I did was put all of these materials on the tray, and then we could do that work. So it would look something like this. I tend to keep the trays and the activities very simple so that the child can clean up, because one of the most important steps of the work, after they have done it and finished with the activity, they have to clean it up and put it back as they found it so that another child can use it. At home, we only have 2 children and they're different ages. It's not that big of a deal for sharing the work, but it is an important part of learning to take care of the work and being responsible. Now, this isn't per se a unicorn theme material, but because we have been stuck inside for a while lately, we made these wind chimes. They're leaf patterns and they're just wood, just to paint the other side still. But then it's a lovely little craft for outside. Now, because of all of these feelings that we're having, I do have popsicle stick, unicorn, and kiddos. So there you go, you can see them. So the idea with this work is that the child should just match the unicorn and the children that are expressing the same feeling. So this one is angry, and this one is maybe happy. And we can just talk about how she feels. Maybe the child can select one of the little guys to show how they're feeling, if they're having a hard time or if they're super happy even, it doesn't matter. So you can do it in different ways. Or you can even use them just to talk about emotions and feelings and discuss vocabulary. Oops. And as you can see, I kept them just in a teapot. Fun little presentation. Now, another feelings material here is our feelings wheel. And this just shows the unicorns having different feelings. There's no vocabulary on there, so you can just use it as a talking point at circle time, or just if a child is having a meltdown, you can grab this to help use it as a guide to discuss emotions and feelings. Now, to continue with our unicorn feelings activities, here we have a Play-Doh mat. And it looks a little bit odd like this, but the idea here is to make an emotion on the unicorn. So you can use Play-Doh or laminate it and give the child a dry erase marker to share how the unicorn is feeling. And that's a good way if the child is having some big emotions or they're feeling just having a hard time, you can have them draw how the unicorn feels rather than showing how they feel themselves. So if they're having a hard time talking about how they feel, they might be more willing to draw it out on something like this. So it's a little bit less personal. So here I have a beginning sound work. We have different objects on these little cards. We have milk, nose, and then I have these cards, these mats, and you can see there's the beginning sound, and then the child has to match the correct object onto the mat. And as a control of error, what I would do, I haven't done this yet, you can see I haven't finished prepping the work because the corners are still pointy, but on the back of these cards you can add the corresponding beginning letter. So you can just write a letter M on the back, and so the child can self-correct. They can match what they think is correct and then look at the back to see if that's the correct letter. Another control of error that is included in the printable set is this poster with beginning sounds, and then you can have the child just use that as a reference to see if they've made their matches correctly. Again, just like the shapes, if you have a child who's just starting to use a material like this, you don't need to present every single sound. You don't need to present all of the letters of the alphabet in one go. I would start with 3 to 5 and then see how the child handles that, if they're feeling overwhelmed or confident and happy, and then you can present the other or more letters and see just how they react to the increasing quantity. Work, I have you here, another part of our learning room. Here I have our unicorn number mats. You can see one The numbers 1 through 4 are on this mat. I have a couple different variations of it. And then they come with these tracing guides. You can laminate this work and then have the child practice writing the numbers. I present it along with these types of cubes. I would select only a handful to make all of these numbers at one time, and then the child can use the cubes to make towers on top of the numbers. It would look something like this. I'll insert a photo here over the top to show you what the result would look like. It's a really fun way to add another little fine motor component on top of the counting and the working. So they're using their hands and building rather than just doing a worksheet or counting out loud. Feeling and seeing how much each number is in this way is very good for their development. It's very good for their brains, and that will really help to ensure that they truly learn how much a number is when they have this hands-on component instead of just using a worksheet or just counting out loud.
Now, to grab all of these unicorn theme printables, make sure that you visit my blog, welcometomommyhood.com. I'll link the exact post in the description box below. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel for more content just like this, and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. Bye, friends.